Yeah, my stance and take on things. Here's my take on things lately, or my stance, my position. You know, drinking is lousy. It makes you feel lousy, especially the next day. But guess what? Life is lousy. And by the way, I didn't block Greg at Domino's. I looked it up. I checked in my Google account. Turns out I didn't block. Uh, I didn't even block him. It shows up that I only had one person blocked. It was Gapel. That was it. Just Gapel. I blocked Gapel. That was the only person I blocked. It is just, man, I don't know. This whole situation is bullshit. People are saying, joking, and picking on me, and working my nerves, saying, "Oh, Todd thinks he's organized. Todd thinks he's clean. Todd thinks he's organized." Uh, Making fun of me about that, like not even believing it. Todd this, Todd that. And now I stood up to myself and put my foot down with Gunther, and now he wants to, personally, he wants to meet me somewhere to whip my ass. Uh, Man, I would meet you. I've fought people in my life. I would meet you, give or take, uh, lose or win. I'd be down for that. Uh, I already sent you the address and your email where the location is. It's not like, I'm not trying to do it in public, so if you want to put on some boxing gloves, I'll put on some boxing gloves, or a bare fist. We could do it. I mean, hell, I don't know. I don't know who you are. I never even met this guy, and of course I'm going to be a little nervous. It's just normal, but because I don't know what I'm going to be up against. I don't know what his capabilities are, what his fighting skills are. If he's a grappler, if he's a stand-up fighter, or if he's a, you know, in the ground fighting, like in jiu-jitsu. I don't know what kind of what orthodox fighting style, what his orthodox is. I don't know. So of course I'm going to be a little bit nervous. It's like before you give a speech in front of a lot of people, you're going to be nervous. The same kind of thing. But I'll tell you guys, there's three things that happens in a fight. Either the person, one or the other person tires out, it gets broken up, or the person gets knocked out or loses. That's it. I worked with a guy, man. He was actually a fighter. He had a fight card. It was a felony if he would hit anyone. Them kind of guys. And he taught me a few things. But he also told me, he said, he was going to actually be shipped out to California. He was at the point where it's like tap or snap. That's what they used to call it, tap or snap, meaning snap a ligament, a joint, a bone. That's the kind of guy I worked with once, and I mean, you guys, actually Budweiser's good with ice cube in it, really good with ice cube, make it cold. But it's like, and then, about education, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say, hey, I'm totally against education. I think it has its good, valid sides to it and elements to it. But at the same time, I don't like conformity. I don't think that people should be forced into stuff, because there's critical moments in a person's life. Critical times when a person's a certain age, and then as they get older, then that's why people wind up messed up when they get old and become an adult, because of the way they were brought up as a child. A lot of this thing you got to conform to is not healthy, even though it's presented to look like it's like. I have an uncle. I have actually 4 uncles, and they all became successful. Most of them doctors or teachers, and one of them was a coach football and baseball. And he got a degree. He almost got a scholarship for baseball, and he did something with his degree in college and became successful and a teacher. Now that's different. If people were going to go for that to teach in college, or in high school. He was one of the highest paying teachers in the state in high school. I think that's cool, though. You're applying it to something useful, and he made good money at it, so that's cool. And he had a family and kids, and the other uncles were doctors, and that's cool. You know, they were all doctors and made decent, very decent amount of money, and lived a lavish life. That's good. I don't just I don't discount that. I don't disagree with all that. But I'm talking about, like, a lot of times people go to school and then it doesn't do nothing for them, or college and don't do nothing for them, then they wind up doing something totally different or opposite, like cutting grass. They become bums and deadbeats, and then they all owe all this damn money to this college, and that happens millions and millions. That affects millions of people. They become victims of it, and that's bullshit, man. It shouldn't be like that, man. And they you know, what's the word? They take the money out of your checks when you at your job. The government can do that to pay the school loans off. Just like the justice system, the Department of Education is kind of screwed up, and the justice system is kind of messed up in a lot of ways. I mean, it's all about politics and money. That's it. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. I've always believed that, and nothing ever changed. Nothing's changed. It's the same. It's always been the same. It's never going to change. Let's face it. I don't even know. Me talking about this ain't going to change nothing. So why am I even complaining? I'm sick of complaining. Man, it's my stance and take on stuff and music. Well, for one thing, YouTube despises anyone that puts music on their channel because it's not their original idea. They don't like that, you know, and I'm not surprised. They're more sticklers, and they crack down on things like petty stuff that's really petty. You know, when I was on YouTube, they were a lot more lenient with things and more laid back, and not as, like, they didn't care as much about little stuff. Now that we're in 2018, I started YouTube in December of '06. I got out of the Army in April of '06. April 18th of 2006, I got out of the Army. My battle buddy was the best combatives in the whole squad. I mean, he knocking people down like nothing, like rag dolls. And he was also a meth dealer. Maximum security, Texas, lockup. Shelton, James Shelton, look him up, from North Carolina. Went to Texas. He was in Dallas maximum security for meth. He had like $30,000 cash or $28,000 cash in his basement from drugs, he told me. He was my battle buddy. He was my cellie. They call him in jail cellies. He was like my cellie in the military. We shared the same room. He slept on the top bunk. I was on the bottom bunk for a long time. I've been around a lot of people. I've been around a lot of doozies in my life. I kicked out a drug dealer once out of my apartment. The next day he broke in, stole my shit. I kicked them all out. 4 big dudes. One was 6'3", black dude. I went up to him. It's like, motherfucker. I was drunk, and I got up in his grill, and he bounced out. He jetted, man. I kicked them all out, man. I was right. I wasn't playing. As a matter of fact, I get to the point where I just don't give a shit, and my mind I just go nuts. I could go green like Hulk, but I don't like getting going. I don't like that side of me. I've tamed. I mean, my temper used to be a lot worse when I was younger. But, you know, sometimes when a person's all tense and hyped up, that's when they lose. The calm person's usually the one that wins.